We still hustle daily. What's up, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Ray Big Play coming to y'all with another story time today. I've got this story time from my girl Artisan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, Artisan. Make sure y'all give her a subscribe on YouTube. She hit me up on Instagram and she wanted me to react to her story, so I appreciate her. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my girl Artisan. Let's try to get her to 1,000 subscribers. All right, I would greatly appreciate that. We're about to go ahead and get into her story time. Let's get right into it. It's the first one, and it's titled "I Thought It Was a Job. It Was a Sugar Baby Heist." Holy.
Okay, so I think I'm going to do this in several different parts, but story time of the time that I was working for these girls that were basically sugar babies and literally almost got into like a $1 million scam. So just to kind of lay it down, how I found this job was on Indeed. I basically wanted to leave my job. I was working at a hotel overnight and came across this job on Indeed to be a personal assistant. And please don't mind my chair squeaking, but so attached to the Indeed link was a phone number to kind of reach out, like send your resume and to send a picture of yourself. Honestly, that would have definitely been a red flag, but I reached out, sent my resume that I had at that time and a picture of myself. And instantly I got a response and it was like, when can we set up an interview? Like, can we do it today? So I basically went in for the interview the same day. Part 3 of the time that I was basically working for sugar babies. Oh, that's good. But basically, so I went in for the interview. I dress up, and I'm greeted at first. Pulling into the neighborhood, it was a gated community, so I needed the gate code to even go into the community, which was crazy. Never been anything like that at that time.
Hey, I never got on Indeed to like get jobs, but I don't remember. It was some website. The jobs be looking funny. I don't know. Some jobs be looking funny and shit. I just used to just always go to the website. Like if you trying to goddamn work at Walmart, I just go to the Walmart website. You know what I'm saying? But I know Indeed people do actually get jobs and stuff off there. But I don't know. It just always seemed funny to me. You know what I'm saying?
Time. So I go into the community and I'm greeted by this huge house. The house is big. Like it's giving mansion. Like it's definitely giving mansion. And I'm greeted by these 2 college looking girls. This is part 4, but I'm going to try to keep this a little longer. So I'm basically greeted by these girls who are like college like girls. Like they look like they probably just graduated, giving 22 or so. And there's like French bulldogs, like whole 9 yards. But at that time, like I'm more impressed just by the house. So I go in for the interview. I'm greeted by a personal chef. The person whose house this is, and please wait, because I will tell you whose house this was. I do not see him yet.
Please tell us.
So the person, I'm greeted by the 2 girls, the personal chef, whole 9 yards. I go into the interview, and they're just asking me like the minimums, like a little bit about me. They're telling me about the job description, like, yeah, you're gonna work here and we're gonna need you to do our laundry, like we're gonna need you to walk our dogs, like go into the apartment, you drive the car, run the errands, like basically, that personal assistant job, so I'm basically hired same exact day and I'm asked to start same exact day. And so I reach out to my job, and I'm like, hey, I at least want to put in a 2 weeks notice to kind of let you know. And my job is like, we're going to fire you right now. So you did not need that notice. You're done. So I basically started at this job literally all in one day. So starting at the job, I'm running my first errand. It was like a little Target run, go and grab them like, I don't know, like Post-it notes and pens. And I'm driving like an Alfa Romeo. At that time, I didn't even know, like, I still don't know anything about cars, but I'm in the Alfa Romeo. Like now I would think that's like the coolest thing. But at that time, like, I just thought it was a typical SUV. This is not that. But basically, so I'm running errands for them. I am taken to their apartment. They're showing me where their spare key is, and everything. And it's really nice, like loft style apartment. Looked like it's probably $3,000 plus in rent. They're like buying like cars. Like I'm meeting the one girl's boyfriend. The one girl had like three. It's only two girls, by the way, but and just to kind of describe these girls, so they were best friends, and one was basically like the ringleader, and one was like the sidekick. So the sidekick was more of like the soft spoken one, where like the ringleader was like the more aggressive, like I'm running the show, like, you know. And I'm gonna talk about them both more in depth, especially as I talk about whose house it is. But basically, so I'm shown their apartment. Apartment's super nice. Dogs, I'm seeing the dog sitters. Like they're basically kind of just like greeting me, showing me everyone, showing me around, just kind of letting me know like, okay, when you start this job, like, well, I basically started a job, but you know, like, you know what I'm gonna actually be doing, like the training. So part 6 of the time that I was working for Sugar Babies and basically was involved in almost a $1 million scam. So just kind of to lay out what so to talk about the job, it was a personal assistant job, but the girls told me that they were representing a company, and I don't want to give too much, but they were representing a company, and they were going to offer a service, like a pharmaceutical like service. I'm going to leave it at that. So for the person whose house this was, it was a older gentleman that they had met. Yeah, I'm gonna literally leave. I don't want to say too much, but it's an older gentleman that they had met, and he was giving 80. He definitely was giving 80. It was an older gentleman, and they were basically working for him to kind of like promote and be like the employees for this company. And like, I'm pretty sure it was more of just their idea, more of a cover up. But they basically were
Man, that's some Hugh Hefner stuff going on, like, didn't he?
working for this men, and they painted the picture almost as if like they are so busy with their workload that they need a personal assistant. And that's kind of like where and how I got hired. So just to kind of give you that. So as I'm working for these girls, it literally lasted for like 3 days. And I was kind of more off put. Like I felt like I couldn't like really fit in to like their conversations. Like it was really just hard to form a bond, and there was a lot of inconsistencies. So I do want to mention that like when I was hired to work for these girls, they were like, oh, we're going to be flying you to like the Philippines. They're like telling me like we gonna be outside, but they're making it seem like we're on a mission. Like we have so much work to complete. Like we are literally on a mission. But I do want to highlight, like, as I'm working for these girls, there was no work for me to do. So like, other than me running errands, it was like run errands to do what? Like I was like grabbing like groceries. But as I'm observing them, they are not doing anything. They spent like their day, like they would be like, oh, like we would literally just like clock in. It'd be like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. They'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go get some, like, let's just go out to the lunch. They were taking me out to lunch. I didn't go out with them every time, but they were going out to lunch. They would be like, hey, I'm just gonna go get my nails done. I never seen these girls work. Like they were going on vacation. Like I never seen these girls work at all. Literally at all. So I don't know if I could say this part.
Hey,
They were
please.
smuggling this man's money, and they basically
Of course, I know that's what they doing.
were hiding this man for me for, I don't know, territorial purposes. I don't know. The ringleader girl of it all, she was very aggressive on like basically she did not want me to meet him at all, and she didn't want the girl who's the sidekick to kind of say too much. I gotta give them names. Okay, let's name the ringleader. Let's name her Spider-Man. I don't know. And let's name the sidekick like Robin. No. Let's name the ringleader Batman and the sidekick Robin.
There you go.
Okay,
All right.
like that. Okay, so this is part 8. So Batman was super aggressive, did not want me to meet this man whatsoever. Just super mean. And as I kind of got to see their character over time, like they were actually just mean girls, like very mean girls, like demeaning, like just mean girls. But this is not that, okay? This is not that. One day, they gave me a task, and they were like, we're gonna need a computer for this task. So they bought like a Mac, like a whole Mac desktop. They bought AirPods. I didn't get them AirPods, but they were just buying all this stuff. And all I could think to myself at that time is like, wow, these girls got money. Mind you, they are taking this man's money. This is literally what they're doing. And so one day as I'm working, just kind of, and the details would be to just kind of like separate his bills and his statements and his credit card information. And like, it would be all of this man's like personal information. Like, it literally had nothing to do with anything. They were basically controlling this man's bank account, his finances, basically trying to cover themselves up. That's basically what they were doing. Okay, this is part 9. So in the midst of...
Yo, if you gonna be taking a man money, you should be goddamn not hiring nobody. They done got so goddamn lazy. They said, hey, we gonna hire somebody else to go through this nigga shit, and just so they can situate it for us, and we gonna continue to steal. Like, damn, you shouldn't even hired her. You know what I'm saying? They should have just kept the goddamn thing going.
Of me
kept it a
separating
secret.
Documents, I come across a will that literally has Batman's name on it. Now, they must have had cameras somewhere that were watching me, probably at all times, rightfully so. And after seeing Batman's name on the will, I didn't pick it up, I didn't touch it, I didn't anything. After seeing Batman's name on the will, I noticed the next day the will was like nowhere to be found. I mean, I wasn't searching for it, but I noticed it was very much gone. And the office was pretty dirty. So everything else was there except for that. Hey. But just to kind of sum it up, so basically, there was a lot of inconsistencies at the job. I felt like I wasn't getting like a true pay. And never really a full week. Now, mind you, I only worked there for 3 days, and I probably was at the job for about like 2 weeks. And I had bills. So I ended up saying, hey, I don't think this is going to work. I was having a hard time even bonding with them anyways. So I was like, I'm going to quit. Like, I need a job ASAP. Like, the rent, baby, the rent was coming. Okay? So I tried to quit. I really think I should do another part for this, because this is literally where the story is going to pick up. Part 10. So once I quit and sent a text saying whatever, that I wanted to go, they ignored me. Like, no response, no nothing. And it lasted for like, I think at this point it was probably like 5 days. So I started messaging like, hey, am I going to get like my last pay? Like, I don't know how you guys are going to send it, but my rent is coming up soon, so I really need that check. They didn't want to run my pay, so no response again. So I start calling, I'm all kinds of stuff. I'm messaging Robin now too, because I'm like, Robin, like, Batman is not trying to give me my pay. Like, you think you can help me out? No response from Robin. Days are going by. I'm kind of now contemplating, like, I think I'm going to call the cops, because like, this is not right. So basically, Batman sends me a text like, oh yeah, like, we're gonna drop your check off. Mind you, the job was not too far from where I lived anyways. It was probably like 10-15 minutes or so. So Batman was like, oh yeah, like, we're gonna drop your check off later on today. Days go by, I ain't get no check. I reach out to my like leasing office and I'm like, y'all get a check? Like, anybody get a check? Like, did anything come for me? Because I ain't get no check. So I'm blowing the back off of that phone. This is part 11. So I'm blowing the back off that phone. Nobody is picking.
Yo, blowing the back off the phone is crazy.
No check. So I get a text later on that day, and it's like, hey, we already dropped the check off. Now, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Because there was no check. There was no check. The leasing office, nobody got a check. Look, there was no check. So I'm like, these girls, I think they're lying to me, bro. Like, so I called the cops. I filed a police report. And I'm like, hey, like, they're withholding my wages. Like, they X, Y, and Z. They said X, Y, and Z, and da-da-da-da. I ain't get no pay. Like, I ain't get no pay. So, fast forward, they never dropped off the check. Once I filed the police report, they were now frantic. They dropped off the check instantly, and it's honestly wild, kind of how the whole thing had to go. And so let's fast forward to a year after the fact. A year after the fact, I get a call from a lawyer, and when I pick up the phone, the lawyer's like, "Hey, do you know Batman? Do you know Robin?" And so, man, I'm spilling the beans because I'm like, I know, like, if you're calling me, like, it has to be some tea. So I'm telling them about, like, the whole work situation, the vibes, everything just kind of just, like, being off, like, how they treated me, the withholding of the wages. And this is what I find out. Tune in for the next part. This is part 12, and I'm pretty sure this is, like, my final part. So the lawyer tells me that these girls were actually running a scam. And in disguise of a business, this pharmaceutical company, these girls were smuggling thousands of dollars of this man's money to their bank account. Not only were they doing that, they were using his money to pay for their cars, of course, where they lived, everything. And they were basically disguising certain things as employees like me, pretending as if they're running a legit company. Now it's crazy. These girls were telling me stuff like, we're gonna be on Zoom calls, we're gonna be getting flued out, all that. And they're basically just taking this man's money and wiring it into their effing bank account. That's some messed up shit. That is really messed up. So kind of, I got out of there at the nick of time. I never got caught up in absolutely any of this. And this happened about 5 years ago or more. I mean, I remember going on the news and their mugshots, they literally got arrested. I don't know if they're still in prison, but they literally got arrested. And it's the craziest thing because, like, I literally found this job on Indeed. So more of the story, be careful of them personal assistant jobs you find on Indeed. Be careful of any job you find on Indeed. Make sure it's legit because a lot of them on there are scams. Okay, so.
All right. I knew they ass was stealing. Again, make sure y'all follow my girl right here, man. I appreciate her. Yeah, I knew they ass was stealing that man money, man. They thought they was slick. Shit, she probably the one who got their ass locked up when she filed the police report. Artisan, look what you did. You got them locked up. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Y'all make sure y'all get my girl to 1,000 subscribers, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, and if you got some more stories, man, on Instagram, hit me up, man. I'll be in the DMs. I'll be looking. So I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. And make sure y'all get my girl to 1,000. She got 743. You feel me? Help my girl out. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. It's your boy Ray Big Play. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Peace.